The Alpha King broke her heart. Then he saw her wearing another Alpha's mark. Chapter 1. The rain started before sunrise. Elara liked rainy mornings. Nobody noticed servants when it rained. The nobles stayed indoors. The guards complained. The cooks shouted louder. And Elara could move through the palace unseen. That was how she preferred it. Unseen, forgotten, safe. She balanced a basket of linens against her hip and hurried through the eastern corridor. Cold winds slipped through cracked windows. Thunder rolled across the mountains. Another storm was coming. "Move faster!" A sharp voice cut through the hall. Elara lowered her head instantly. "Sorry, Lady Maris." The noblewoman wrinkled her nose. "Don't speak unless spoken to." "Yes, my lady." Maris walked away. Her expensive perfume lingered behind. Elara released a quiet breath. Nothing new. Servants were invisible. Omegas were worse. And servant Omegas? They barely counted as people, at least inside the royal palace. She continued walking. The basket felt heavier with every step. She hadn't eaten since yesterday afternoon. Food shortages were becoming common. Not for nobles. Never for nobles. Only for everyone else. As she rounded a corner, laughter echoed ahead. A group of young nobles blocked the corridor. Elara immediately stepped aside. She knew better than to get in their way. But one of them noticed her. "Look." A young man grinned. The ghost servant. More laughter followed. Elara kept her eyes down. Maybe they would lose interest. They didn't. "What's your name again?" Silence. "Answer him." Another voice. She swallowed. "Elara," the young noble smirked. "Elara," as if testing the word. Then his gaze sharpened. "You still think the Alpha King will notice you someday?" The others burst into laughter. Heat climbed her cheeks. She hated this game. The rumors had started years ago, because she once helped the king. Just once. Nothing more. But people needed entertainment, and servants made easy targets. "No," she whispered. "That's not what people say." More laughter. "Maybe she dreams about him. Maybe she writes love letters. Maybe she's waiting for him to rescue her." The group laughed harder. Elara tightened her grip on the basket. Her fingers hurt. She wanted to leave. She wanted to disappear. Then a deep voice suddenly filled the corridor. "What is happening here?" Everything froze. The nobles instantly straightened. Fear flashed across their faces. Elara recognized that voice immediately. Everyone did. Alpha King Rowan Ashbourne, the ruler of the Northern Kingdom. The strongest Alpha alive. The man she had spent years trying not to think about. Silence swallowed the hallway. Rowan stepped forward. Tall. Powerful. Cold. His black military coat carried the royal crest. Rainwater glistened on his shoulders. His silver eyes scanned the corridor. Nobody spoke. Finally, Rowan looked toward the nobles. "You have duties." His voice was calm, which somehow made it worse. "Leave." They practically ran. Within seconds, the corridor emptied. Only Elara remained. And him. The basket suddenly felt impossible to hold. Her heart beat painfully fast. "Don't look at him. Don't look." Too late. His eyes found hers. For a brief moment neither moved. Then Rowan frowned. As if recognizing something, or someone. But the expression vanished almost immediately. "You should return to work." His voice carried no warmth. No cruelty either. Just distance. The same distance a king might show a stranger. Because that was what she was. A stranger. Elara lowered her gaze. "Yes, Your Majesty." She walked past him. 1 step, 2, 3. Then his voice stopped her. "Wait." Her stomach dropped. She turned slowly. Rowan stared at the basket. "You're injured." She blinked. "What?" He pointed. Only then did she notice blood on the linens. Her hand. A deep cut across her palm. She must have scraped it earlier. She hadn't even felt it. "It will heal," she said quickly. Rowan's jaw tightened. For some reason, that tiny injury seemed to bother him. Strange. Then footsteps approached. A captain hurried into the corridor. "Your Majesty." Rowan immediately turned. "What happened?" The captain looked uneasy. "We found another one." The king's expression darkened. Where? Near the southern border? Another one? Alara watched quietly. The captain lowered his voice, but she still heard two words. Luna blood. Rowan's entire body stiffened. A dangerous silence followed. Then he noticed Alara still standing there. Their eyes met again. This time something felt different. Almost like fear. Not hers. His. Go, Rowan ordered. Alara nodded and hurried away. But the words stayed with her. Luna blood. Nobody had spoken those words publicly in years. Not since the old royal family died. Not since the mysterious fire. Not since the kingdom lost its Luna Queen. As she disappeared around the corner, a strange sensation spread through her chest. A warmth. Brief. Unfamiliar. And far away. Deep beneath the palace itself, something ancient suddenly awakened, as if it had heard her heartbeat and remembered her name. Chapter 2. The dream returned that night. It always began the same way. Fire. Endless fire. Golden flames climbing black stone walls. Smoke filling the sky. People screaming. Running. Crying. And somewhere in the chaos, a woman kept calling her name. Elara. The voice sounded distant, broken, desperate. Elara. Run. She turned toward the voice. But she never reached it. The dream always ended before she could. Every time. Alara woke with a gasp. Moonlight spilled through the tiny servant room window. Her blanket clung to her skin. She was sweating. Again. She sat up slowly. Her heart pounded. The same dream. The same voice. The same fire. For years. She rubbed her eyes. Outside, thunder rolled across the mountains. The storm had not ended. In fact, it sounded worse. A sharp knock rattled her door. Alara jumped. Alara! A familiar voice. Mina, her closest friend in the servant quarters. Alara hurried over and opened the door. Mina looked terrified. Come quickly. What happened? The healers need help. Alara grabbed her cloak. Is someone hurt? Mina nodded. A patrol arrived from the southern border. The words instantly reminded her of the conversation she'd overheard. Another one. Luna blood. A chill moved down her spine. Minutes later, they entered the palace infirmary. The place was crowded. Healers rushed between beds. Soldiers filled nearly every corner. Several were bleeding. Others looked exhausted. The border patrol had clearly faced something dangerous. Alara immediately got to work. Carrying water, cleaning wounds, replacing bandages. Simple tasks. Safe tasks. The kind servants were allowed to do. Then she noticed one soldier. He lay unconscious near the back wall. Unlike the others, his injuries looked strange. Dark veins spread beneath his skin, almost black. A healer shook his head. He won't survive. Another healer sighed. The poison already reached his heart. Alara frowned. Poison? She had never seen anything like it. The unconscious soldier suddenly groaned. His body jerked violently. Several healers rushed forward. Nothing helped. The dark veins continued spreading. Faster. Faster. Then the soldier stopped breathing. The room fell silent. A healer slowly covered him with a blanket. He's gone. Everyone looked away. Death was common near the border. Still painful. Still terrible. But common. Alara should have returned to work. Instead, she found herself staring at the soldier. Something felt wrong. Not sad. Not frightening. Wrong. Like a puzzle piece placed backward. Before she could stop herself, she stepped closer. The strange warmth returned. The same warmth she'd felt after speaking with Rowan. It spread through her chest, down her arms, into her hands. Alara froze. A faint golden glow flickered across her fingertips. Her eyes widened. What? The glow vanished instantly. Gone so fast she almost thought she'd imagined it. Then the soldier inhaled. The entire infirmary froze. The dead man sat upright. Gasps erupted everywhere. One healer dropped an entire tray. Another stumbled backward. The soldier blinked, confused. Alive. Very alive. Silence crushed the room. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Finally, the soldier whispered, "What happened?" A healer stared in horror. "You were dead." The soldier frowned. "No. You stopped breathing." "No. Your heart stopped." The soldier touched his chest. His expression turned pale. Because the black veins were gone. Completely gone. Every trace of poison had disappeared. The room exploded into chaos. Questions flew everywhere. Healers crowded around him. Soldiers shouted. People demanded answers. Alara backed away. Her pulse raced. Nobody had seen the glow. Right? Nobody noticed. Right? She turned toward the exit and nearly collided with someone. Her stomach dropped. Alpha King Rowan stood directly behind her, watching. His silver eyes locked onto hers. Not cold this time. Not distant. Sharp, focused, dangerous. As if he had seen something nobody else had. Something he wasn't supposed to see. "Everyone out." His voice silenced the entire infirmary. Immediately, people obeyed. Within moments, the room emptied, leaving only 3 people: the recovered soldier, the Alpha King, and Alara. Fear crawled into her chest. Rowan approached slowly. Too slowly. His gaze never left her face. The soldier looked between them nervously. "Your Majesty?" Rowan ignored him. "Leave." The soldier didn't argue. He practically ran. Then only Rowan and Alara remained. Silence stretched. Long. Heavy. Finally Rowan spoke. "What did you do?" Alara blinked. "What?" His eyes narrowed. "That soldier. I didn't do anything." The lie came too quickly. Rowan noticed. She knew he noticed. His jaw tightened. For a moment, neither spoke. Then he stepped closer. One step. Another. Alara instinctively retreated. Her back hit the wall. Nowhere left to go. The king stood only a few feet away, close enough to feel the strength rolling off him. Close enough to see exhaustion behind his eyes. Close enough to notice something unexpected. Fear. Not of her. For her. Ilara. The way he said her name felt strange. Careful. Almost painful. "Tell me the truth." She swallowed hard. "I don't know what happened." And that was the truth. Mostly because she truly didn't understand. The warmth, the glow, the impossible healing. None of it made sense. Rowan studied her face. Searching. Listening. Waiting. Then suddenly the infirmary doors burst open. A royal messenger rushed inside. Breathless. Terrified. "My king." Rowan immediately turned. "What is it?" The messenger looked pale. Another attack. Rowan's expression hardened. "Where?" "The western villages." Ilara saw something shift in the messenger's eyes. Something worse. Something he didn't want to say. Rowan noticed too. "Speak." The messenger swallowed. "The attackers weren't rogues." Silence. "What were they?" The messenger's voice shook. "Wolves carrying the crescent mark." The room instantly grew cold. Even Alara felt it. Because everyone knew that symbol. It belonged to only one man. A rival alpha feared across the continent, an alpha powerful enough to challenge kings. An alpha nobody had seen in years. The Shadow Alpha. "Kale Thorn," the messenger continued. "They left a message." Rowan's face became unreadable. "What message?" The messenger looked directly at Alara, then back at the king, and whispered, "They said they're coming for the girl." Chapter 3. The room fell silent. Alara felt her blood turn cold. "The girl?" The question escaped before she could stop it. The messenger looked uncomfortable. Rowan answered first. "Leave us." "My king. Now." The messenger bowed and hurried away. The doors closed. Silence remained. Ilara stared at Rowan. "What does that mean?" He didn't answer. "Who is the Shadow Alpha?" Still nothing. His jaw tightened. The muscles in his neck flexed. He looked angry. Or worried. Maybe both. "Your Majesty." Her voice sharpened. "They said they're coming for a girl." Rowan finally looked at her. "I know." "Which girl?" His silence was answer enough. Alara took a step back. "No." Rowan said nothing. "No." The word came out stronger. "Why would they want me?" "I don't know." She laughed bitterly. That answer was impossible. He knew something. She could see it. The king never looked uncertain. Never. Yet now his eyes carried secrets. Dangerous ones. You're lying. A shadow crossed his face. Before he could respond, another knock struck the door. A guard entered. My king. The council is waiting. Rowan never looked away from Alara. Double the palace patrols. Yes, your majesty. No servant leaves palace grounds. Alara blinked. What? The guard hesitated, then nodded. Immediately. When the guard left, Alara stared at Rowan. You can't keep me here. I can. The answer came instantly. Cold, certain. A king's answer. Anger flared inside her. For years she had lived quietly. Worked hard. Stayed invisible. Now suddenly everyone cared where she went. Why? What aren't you telling me? Rowan looked away. That hurt more than if he had shouted. Because it meant there really was something. Something huge. Something connected to her. And he wouldn't say it. Finally he spoke. Stay inside the palace. That's not an answer. It is for now. For now? His eyes darkened. For now. Then he turned and walked away, leaving her alone. Again. Just like always. By evening, rumors had spread everywhere. Servants whispered in kitchens. Guards talked in hallways. Even nobles seemed nervous. Another border attack. More missing villagers. The Shadow Alpha's name appearing again. Fear moved through the palace like smoke. Alara sat alone in the laundry room, trying to think. Nothing made sense. Why would a legendary alpha want her? She was nobody. Just an Omega servant. Just Alara. A soft voice interrupted her thoughts. That's what they want you to believe. Alara jumped. An old woman stood in the doorway. Bent shoulders. Gray hair. Kind eyes. Nora. The palace seamstress. One of the few people who had ever treated Alara kindly. Nora. The old woman smiled gently. You look frightened. Everyone is frightened. Not everyone. Nora entered and closed the door. The smile vanished. Some people are terrified. A chill ran down Alara's spine. What do you mean? Nora studied her carefully. For a moment, she seemed to be deciding something. Then she reached into her pocket and removed a small silver necklace. Alara froze. She knew that necklace. Or rather, she shouldn't know it. Yet somehow she did. The design felt familiar. A crescent moon wrapped around a flower. Beautiful. Ancient. The moment Alara touched it, warmth spread through her chest. The same warmth from the infirmary. The same strange energy. Nora inhaled sharply. You felt it. What is this? The old woman looked suddenly emotional. Tears filled her eyes. What is it? Alara repeated. Nora whispered one word. Yours. Alara stared at her. My what? Your necklace. The room spun. What are you talking about? Nora sat beside her, slowly, carefully, as though approaching a wounded animal. I promised someone I would protect you. Alara's pulse quickened. Who? Nora swallowed. Your mother. The world stopped. For several seconds, Alara couldn't breathe. My mother is dead. Nora's expression broke. No. Alara stood so quickly the chair crashed backward. No. Her voice shook. No, she's not. Nora rose too. I was there. You don't know anything. I held you when you were a baby. The words hit like a hammer. Alara froze. The old woman continued. I carried you from the fire. Fire. The dream. The screaming. The woman calling her name. Suddenly her knees felt weak. What fire? Nora's face lost all color. The palace fire. Alara stared. What palace? Nora's eyes widened. Too late. She realized what she had said. A loud crash exploded outside. Both women jumped. Then shouting erupted in the corridor. Guards! Screams. Running footsteps. Something was wrong. Very wrong. The laundry room door burst open. A bloodied guard stumbled inside. Run! Nora moved instantly. What happened? The guards struggled to breathe. They're here. Fear filled the room. Nora grabbed Alara's wrist. We have to go. Who? The guard looked directly at Alara. Terror filled his eyes. The Shadow Alpha's wolves. Another crash shook the building. Closer this time. Much closer. The guard collapsed, dead before he hit the floor. Alara gasped. Nora pulled her toward a hidden door behind a stack of linens. Move! What is happening? No time. The old woman shoved the secret door open. Dark stairs appeared beyond it. Ancient stairs. Hidden stairs. The kind built centuries ago. Alara hesitated. Then a deep howl echoed through the palace. Not human. Not entirely wolf. Something powerful. Something terrifying. The howl sent chills through every bone in her body. And strangely, part of her recognized it. As if she had heard it before. Somewhere. Long ago. Nora pulled her down the stairs. Hurry! The hidden passage swallowed them. Darkness surrounded them. Above, screams echoed through the palace. Below, ancient tunnels stretched endlessly ahead. Then, a second howl echoed through the darkness. Closer. Much closer. And a male voice whispered from somewhere inside the tunnel, at last. Chapter 4. Alara froze. The voice had come from the darkness ahead. Deep. Calm. Male. At last. The words echoed through the tunnel. Nora immediately pulled her behind her. Stay back. The old woman's voice trembled. Not with weakness. With fear. Real fear. The kind that came from knowing exactly who stood in front of them. The tunnel fell silent. Water dripped from somewhere overhead. The air smelled of damp stone and earth. Then footsteps echoed through the darkness. Slow, measured, unhurried. As if whoever approached had no reason to rush. As if he already knew they couldn't escape. Alara's pulse hammered in her ears. A shadow emerged from the darkness. Tall, broad-shouldered, powerful. Black clothing blended into the tunnel walls. A dark cloak rested over his shoulders. Silver eyes reflected the dim torchlight. Not bright silver like Rowan's. Darker, colder, more dangerous. A scar crossed one side of his jaw. His face carried the hard edges of a man who had survived many battles, yet his gaze never left Alara. Not once. The world seemed to narrow around that stare. Nora stepped forward. You will not touch her. The man stopped. For a moment, surprise flickered across his face. Then he smiled. A small smile. Almost sad. Nora. The old woman stiffened. You remember me. Of course. His voice softened. You carried her from the fire. Alara's breath caught. The fire. Again. Everything led back to the fire. Who are you? She demanded. The man's gaze shifted to her. Something changed in his expression. Something she couldn't understand. Relief. After all these years. Relief. My name is Kale Thorne. The words hit like thunder. The Shadow Alpha. The most feared alpha on the continent. The man whose wolves had attacked the kingdom. The man everyone whispered about. The man who was supposedly coming for her. Alara instinctively stepped backward. Kale noticed. Pain flashed across his face. Gone in an instant. I won't hurt you. People say otherwise. People say many things. His voice remained calm. Steady. Nora wasn't convinced. You should leave. Kale's eyes hardened. I can't. The temperature in the tunnel seemed to drop. Danger thickened in the air. Alara could feel it. Not from Kale. From something approaching behind them. Fast. Very fast. Kale felt it too. His head snapped toward the tunnel entrance. Then he cursed. A single word. Low and sharp. Too late. A powerful wave of alpha energy exploded through the tunnel. The stone walls trembled. Dust rained from the ceiling. Alara staggered. Nora grabbed her arm, and then another voice echoed through the darkness. Step away from her. Rowan. Every muscle in Alara's body tensed. The Alpha King emerged from the opposite end of the tunnel. Sword drawn, eyes blazing. Several royal guards followed him. The moment Rowan saw Kale, his expression turned deadly. Kale's face became equally cold. The two alphas stared at each other. Ancient hatred filled the space between them. Alara had never seen anything like it. This wasn't ordinary rivalry. This was personal. Deeply personal. Dangerously personal. Rowan took another step forward. You shouldn't have come. Kale laughed softly. You know why I'm here. She's staying. No. The word cracked through the tunnel. Absolute. Certain. Kale's silver eyes shifted toward Alara. For 18 years I honored my promise. Alara frowned. Promise? What promise? She asked. Neither alpha answered. Instead, they kept staring at each other, like warriors standing at the edge of war. Finally, Rowan spoke. You swore never to return. Kale's expression darkened. I swore to protect her. A strange silence followed. Then Kale added, and you've already failed. The words landed like a knife. Rowan visibly flinched. Just slightly. But Alara saw it. Kale saw it too. The Shadow Alpha's voice dropped. The attack started because someone discovered the truth. Rowan's grip tightened on his sword. I know. Then tell her. No. Kale's eyes flashed. How many more people need to die? The tunnel became very quiet. Too quiet. Alara looked between them. What truth? Nothing. No answer. Again. Frustration boiled inside her. Everyone knew something except her. Everyone. She stepped forward. Stop talking around me. Both alphas immediately looked at her. I deserve answers. Neither moved. Neither spoke. Alara laughed bitterly. Of course. The sound hurt her own ears. Why would anyone tell the servant anything? Alara, don't. She pointed at Rowan. For the first time in years. Actually pointed at the king. You keep ordering me around. Then she turned toward Kale. And you show up claiming you're protecting me. Her chest tightened. But neither of you will tell me who I am. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Painful. True. Because that was the real question. Not why they wanted her. Not why they feared her. Who am I? Kale looked away first. Rowan looked guilty. Actually guilty. The sight stunned her. Then a distant roar echoed through the tunnel. Not a wolf. Not human. Something else. Something enormous. All three of them froze. Kale's face instantly darkened. No. Rowan's expression turned grim. How did it get here? Alara's stomach dropped. What is it? Kale turned toward her. For the first time, genuine alarm filled his eyes. We have to leave. What is it? The Blood Hunter. The name meant nothing to Alara, but it clearly meant something to everyone else. Because Nora suddenly went pale. The guards exchanged terrified looks. Even Rowan's face hardened. Then the roar came again. Closer. The entire tunnel shook. Stone cracked. Dust exploded from the ceiling. A guard shouted, "It's breaking through!" Panic erupted. Another deafening crash thundered through the darkness. The tunnel wall exploded inward. Stone shattered everywhere. Guards screamed. And from the cloud of dust emerged a massive creature. Twice the size of any wolf. Covered in black armor-like skin, glowing red eyes burned through the darkness. Its gaze locked instantly onto Alara. Not Rowan, not Kale, her. The creature snarled, and spoke a single sentence in a human voice. There you are, Princess. Chapter 5. There you are, Princess. The words echoed through the tunnel. For one terrifying second, nobody moved. Nobody breathed. The creature's glowing red eyes remained locked on Alara. Princess. The word struck harder than its appearance. Princess? Alara stared, confused, shocked, afraid. The creature took one step forward. Stone cracked beneath its massive claws. A low growl rumbled from its chest. Then everything happened at once. Get down. Rowan moved first. His sword flashed. A wave of alpha energy exploded through the tunnel. The creature slammed sideways into the wall. Dust erupted. Kale lunged at the same moment. His claws extended. Silver light flashed around him. The tunnel shook from the force of the impact. The Blood Hunter roared. The sound hurt Alara's ears. Guards rushed forward. Nora pulled Alara backward. Run! What is that thing? No time! The Blood Hunter swatted a guard aside. His body crashed into a wall. He never stood up again. Ilara's stomach twisted. The creature wasn't here to kill everyone. It barely looked at anyone else. Its eyes never left her, like she was the only target, the only purpose, the only reason it existed. A chill crawled through her body. Then the creature spoke again. Bring her. Its voice sounded wrong, like many voices speaking together. Bring her alive. Alive? Why alive? Kale slammed into the creature again. The tunnel trembled. For a brief moment, the blood hunter stumbled. Kale shouted toward Alara. Go! This time she obeyed. Nora dragged her deeper into the tunnel. They ran. Fast. Behind them, battle sounds echoed endlessly. Roars. Crashes. Shouting. The tunnel twisted through darkness. Ancient stone walls stretched endlessly. Alara struggled to keep up. Questions exploded inside her mind. Princess. Promise. The fire. The necklace. None of it made sense. Yet all of it felt connected. Somehow. Suddenly Nora stopped. A hidden chamber opened before them. Small. Ancient. Dust covered everything. The room looked untouched for years. Maybe decades. At the center stood a stone altar, and on top of it rested a wooden box. Nora rushed toward it. Her hands shook. What is this place? Nora swallowed. A place I prayed we'd never need. She opened the box. Inside lay several objects. An old silver crown, a faded royal banner, a sealed letter, and a portrait. Alara froze. The woman in the portrait looked exactly like her. The same eyes, the same hair, the same smile. Older, but unmistakably similar. Tears instantly filled Nora's eyes. Your mother. Ilara's knees nearly gave out. No. It's time. The old woman handed her the portrait. You deserve the truth. Alara stared at the image. The woman looked kind, strong, beautiful, and strangely familiar, like the voice from her dreams. Nora took a deep breath. 18 years ago, there were 2 royal bloodlines. Alara listened. Every heartbeat sounded loud. The Northern Kingdom. She thought of Rowan. And the Moon Court. The name felt oddly familiar. Nora continued. The Moon Court was ruled by Luna Queen Selene. Alara looked at the portrait again. The woman smiled back. Warmly. Sadly. Your mother. The world tilted. No. Impossible. I'm not a princess. You are. No. You are. Nora's voice cracked. You've always been. Silence filled the chamber. Alara couldn't think. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't process anything. Nora continued anyway. Queen Selene possessed an ancient gift. The warmth inside Alara's chest stirred, growing stronger. She could heal. The warmth grew hotter. Not ordinary healing. Nora's eyes glistened. Life healing. The room blurred. Suddenly Alara remembered the soldier, the poison disappearing. The golden light. Her hands. Oh no. Oh no. Nora nodded. Yes. The truth hit all at once. The warmth. The dreams. The impossible healing. The necklace. Everything. My mother? The last true Luna Queen. Alara sank onto a nearby chair, numb. This can't be real. It is. Then why was I a servant? Nora's expression darkened. Because someone wanted you dead. A distant roar shook the chamber. Closer now. The battle was moving, fast. Nora hurried to the letter. She pressed it into Alara's hands. Your mother wrote this. Alara stared at the sealed parchment. Her fingers trembled. Read it. She broke the seal. The paper unfolded. The handwriting looked elegant, gentle, and somehow familiar. The first line shattered her heart. My dearest daughter. Tears instantly filled her eyes. She kept reading. If you are reading this, I am gone. But I need you to know something. You were loved. Every single day. Every single moment. Never believe otherwise. Ilara's vision blurred. A tear landed on the page. Nora quietly looked away. The letter continued. You will hear many lies about who you are. Many will seek your power. Others will fear it. But remember this. Healing is not weakness. Kindness is not weakness. Mercy is not weakness. These gifts will save lives. even when others choose violence. Elara wiped her eyes. Her hands shook. Then she reached the final lines. And everything changed. Because the letter ended with a truth nobody had mentioned. A truth that made her blood run cold. One day, you will meet the boy who survived the fire with you. Trust him, even if he breaks your heart, even if he pushes you away, because he was willing to lose everything to save your life, including me. Elara stopped breathing, slowly, very slowly. She looked up at Nora. The old woman's face had gone pale, because both of them knew exactly who the letter meant. Only one boy survived the fire. Only one person had known the truth all these years. Only one person had spent 18 years protecting her from the shadows. Alpha King Rowan Ashbourne. Then a familiar voice echoed from the chamber entrance. Low, exhausted, and filled with pain. She wasn't supposed to find out like this. Rowan stood in the doorway, covered in blood, holding a broken sword, and behind him, the blood hunter was still coming. Chapter 6. She wasn't supposed to find out like this. Rowan stood in the doorway. Blood stained his coat. His sword was cracked down the middle. One shoulder hung lower than the other. He was injured, badly. Yet he looked past everyone and focused only on Elara, as if nothing else mattered, as if the monster chasing them was a secondary problem. For several seconds, neither of them spoke. The letter trembled in Elara's hands. So it's true. Her voice sounded small, broken. Rowan closed his eyes briefly, then nodded. Yes. The answer hurt more than she expected, because it meant he had known, all along, every year, every day, every time she scrubbed palace floors, every time nobles mocked her, every time she went hungry. He knew, and he said nothing. Anger surged through her chest, hot, sharp, painful. You knew who I was. Yes. You watched all of it happen. Rowan's jaw tightened. Elara, you watched. The words echoed through the chamber. Nora quietly stepped back, giving them space, giving them the truth. Rowan looked exhausted, not physically, emotionally, like a man carrying a burden for too long. You don't understand. Then explain it. Silence. The same silence she had endured for years. But this time, Rowan finally broke it. The night of the fire, his voice lowered. I failed. Elara froze. Something in his tone made her listen. I was 10 years old. His gaze drifted somewhere far away. Back to another time. Another life. I remember smoke, he swallowed, screaming. His hands clenched. I remember searching for my father. The Alpha King had lost family that night too. Elara suddenly realized she'd never considered that. Not once. Rowan continued. Then I found your mother. The room became very quiet. Queen Celine. Even saying the name seemed difficult for him. She was hurt. Pain crossed his face. Badly hurt. Elara listened, unable to look away. She gave me you. The words landed softly, yet somehow shattered her heart. Rowan laughed bitterly. I was a child. His eyes glistened. I didn't know what to do. The image formed in Elara's mind. A frightened boy, a burning palace, a dying queen, and a baby. You weren't crying. A faint smile appeared. Small, fragile. You just stared at me. For some reason, tears filled Elara's eyes. I carried you outside. His voice cracked. The entire palace was collapsing. He looked away. I couldn't save everyone. The guilt in those words felt ancient, heavy, permanent. Then he whispered, I couldn't save her. Silence followed. Not empty silence. Grieving silence. The kind that came from wounds that never healed. Elara's anger weakened. Not gone, but weakened. Because for the first time, she wasn't seeing a king. She was seeing a boy who had survived a nightmare. A boy who had spent years blaming himself. Rowan inhaled slowly. Before she died, your mother made me promise. Elara's chest tightened. What promise? Hide you. The answer came instantly. Protect you. His eyes met hers. Keep you alive. A distant roar echoed through the tunnels. Closer. Much closer. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then Rowan added, "Even if you hated me." The room fell silent. Because suddenly, everything made terrible sense. Why he kept his distance. Why he never acknowledged her. Why he acted like she was nobody. If enemies believed she was a servant, they wouldn't look for a princess. They wouldn't hunt the Luna Queen's daughter. At least, that had been the plan. Until now. Until someone discovered the truth. Ilara stared at him. Years of pain battled against years of sacrifice. Neither side won. Not yet. Then another voice echoed through the chamber. "You finally told her." Kale stepped into the room, covered in blood. Just like Rowan. His breathing was uneven. A deep wound crossed his arm, yet he remained standing. Strong. Dangerous. Unbreakable. The two alphas immediately tensed. Old hatred returned. Kale ignored it. His attention settled on Ilara. "I'm sorry." The words surprised everyone. Including Rowan. Kale's gaze softened. "I should have found a way to tell you sooner." Ilara frowned. "You knew too?" A shadow crossed his face. "Since the night you were born." That answer stunned her. "What?" Nora closed her eyes. As if she already knew what came next. Kale stepped forward. "The Moon Court and my pack were allies." His voice remained steady. "I swore an oath to your mother." Another promise. Another secret. Another person who had known her entire life. Ilara felt dizzy. How many people knew? How many lied? How many watched her struggle while pretending she was ordinary? Anger flared again, this time toward everyone. "You all decided my life for me." Nobody answered, because nobody could deny it. Then the chamber shook violently. Stone cracked overhead. Dust rained down. The blood hunter was almost here. A roar exploded through the tunnels. Closer than ever. Kale's expression hardened instantly. "We don't have time." Rowan nodded. For once, they agreed. The creature was coming. Fast. And judging by the sounds, it wasn't alone anymore. Ilara looked toward the tunnel entrance. Fear twisted inside her. What exactly is that thing? Neither alpha answered immediately. That hesitation terrified her more than the monster itself. Finally, Kale spoke. "It was created to hunt royal blood." A chill swept through the chamber. "What?" Rowan looked grim. "Hundreds of years ago," Kale continued, "ancient wolves used forbidden magic." The temperature seemed to drop. They created hunters that could track royal descendants anywhere. Ilara felt sick. Anywhere. No matter where she ran, no matter where she hid, it would always find her. The realization was horrifying. Then Kale added something even worse. "It doesn't stop." The chamber fell silent. "It doesn't sleep." Another roar echoed. Closer. "It doesn't negotiate." Stone exploded somewhere nearby. "And it never abandons its prey." Fear spread through the room. Real fear. Even among warriors. Then something unexpected happened. The warmth inside Ilara's chest returned. Stronger than ever, golden energy spread through her body. Her necklace began glowing. Everyone froze. The chamber filled with golden light. Soft, ancient, beautiful. Ilara gasped. She couldn't stop it. The energy moved through her hands, across her skin, into the air around her. The entire room seemed to breathe. Then a vision slammed into her mind. Not a dream, not imagination. A memory. Someone else's memory. She saw Queen Selene, her mother, standing beside another woman. A woman with silver eyes. The two women looked frightened. Desperate. They were hiding something. Protecting something. Then Ilara saw a child. A baby. Wrapped in silver blankets. Herself. But there was another baby too. A boy. The vision shattered. Ilara staggered. Rowan caught her before she could fall. The moment he touched her, another piece of the vision appeared. The silver-eyed woman. The second baby. A voice whispering, "The children must never learn the truth." The vision vanished. Ilara stared at Rowan, horrified, confused, breathless. Because she suddenly understood one thing, one impossible thing. The secret wasn't just about her. It was about him, too. And judging by the look on Rowan's face, he knew exactly what she had seen. Then the tunnel wall behind them exploded inward. The blood hunter crashed into the chamber, and this time, it brought an army. Chapter 7. The explosion threw everyone backward. Stone shattered. Dust filled the chamber. The blood hunter emerged first. Its glowing red eyes locked onto Alara immediately. But it wasn't alone. Dozens of figures poured through the broken wall behind it. Black armor, silver crescent emblems, warriors. Some belonged to Kale's pack. Others wore symbols nobody recognized. A third faction, unknown, dangerous, and heavily armed. The chamber instantly became a battlefield. "Protect her!" Rowan's command thundered through the room. Guards rushed forward. Steel collided. Roars echoed. The blood hunter charged. Kale met it head-on. The impact cracked the floor beneath them. Alara stumbled backward. Everything blurred into chaos. Screams, clashing weapons, flying stone. The smell of blood. She had never seen so much violence. Never been this close to death. Then a stranger appeared beside her. A woman. Tall. Dark-haired. Wearing the symbol of the unknown faction. Before Alara could react, the woman grabbed her wrist. "Come with me." "What?" "Now." The woman's grip tightened. Alara tried to pull away. The stranger leaned closer and whispered something shocking. "Your mother trusted my family." Alara froze. The woman immediately used the hesitation. She dragged Alara toward a hidden tunnel opening. "Nora," Alara shouted. The old woman turned. Too late. A warrior blocked her path. Rowan looked over. His eyes widened. "Alara." The woman pulled harder. "Move." Everything happened too fast. Kale was fighting the blood hunter. Rowan was trapped by enemy warriors. Guards were falling. Nobody could reach her. Alara struggled. Kicked. Pulled. Nothing worked. The woman was incredibly strong. Then the stranger said something that made Alara stop fighting. "If you stay, Rowan dies." The words hit like a knife. "What?" The woman pointed toward the battle. For one terrible moment, Alara saw it. A hidden assassin, moving through the chaos, approaching Rowan from behind, a poisoned blade in hand. No one else had noticed. No one. Except her. And somehow, she knew exactly what was about to happen. A flash. A feeling. Almost like instinct. The warmth inside her chest surged again. The assassin struck. Alara screamed. "Rowan!" The Alpha King turned, a fraction too late. The blade drove into his side. Blood splashed across the stone floor. The world stopped. Rowan staggered. His sword fell from his hand. Pain crossed his face. Then the assassin vanished back into the crowd. Everything inside Alara shattered. "No." The whisper escaped her lips. "No." The woman dragged her toward the tunnel. "There's no time." Alara couldn't look away. Rowan dropped to one knee. Blood poured from the wound. Too much blood. Way too much. The poison spread instantly. Dark veins crawled beneath his skin, just like the soldier, only worse. Far worse. Then Rowan lifted his head. Across the battlefield. Across the chaos. Across the distance. His eyes found hers. For a brief moment, everything else disappeared. No battle, no warriors, no monsters. Only that look. A look filled with one desperate command. Run. The woman pulled Alara into the tunnel. Darkness swallowed them. The chamber vanished behind her. But Rowan's face remained burned into her memory. The pain, the blood, the sacrifice, the goodbye. Hours passed. Or maybe minutes. Alara wasn't sure anymore. The stranger led her through endless tunnels. Neither spoke. Eventually they emerged into a forest. Moonlight spilled across ancient trees. The air felt cold, fresh, free. Yet Alara felt trapped. Her chest hurt. Her thoughts wouldn't stop. Rowan had been poisoned. Badly poisoned. And she knew exactly what that poison could do. Because she'd seen it before. She stopped walking. The woman turned. "We need to keep moving." "No." The stranger frowned. No, I'm going back. The woman stared at her. That's impossible. I don't care. You'll be captured. I don't care. The woman sighed heavily. For the first time, frustration appeared on her face. You sound exactly like your mother. Alara blinked. You knew her? The woman hesitated, then nodded. My name is Lyra. The name meant nothing, but the sadness in her eyes felt genuine. I served Queen Selene. Another secret, another person from the past. Alara almost laughed. Apparently everyone knew her mother except her. Lyra stepped closer. Listen carefully. Her voice softened. Your survival matters. What if Rowan dies? The question slipped out before she could stop it. Lyra looked away, and that answer terrified Alara more than words ever could. Because it meant Rowan might already be dying. The realization hit like a physical blow. She remembered every moment, every conversation, every cold glance, every act of protection hidden beneath distance, and suddenly she understood something painful. He had never rejected her because he didn't care. He rejected her because he cared too much. The truth broke something inside her. Tears filled her eyes. She turned away, ashamed, angry, heartbroken. Then the forest suddenly went silent. Completely silent. No wind, no insects, no animals, nothing. Lyra instantly drew a dagger. Fear flashed across her face. What is it? Alara whispered. The woman slowly looked around. We're not alone. A branch snapped somewhere nearby. Then, another, and another. Figures emerged from the trees. 10, 20, 30. Warriors surrounded them from every direction. Lyra cursed. The men wore black armor, no symbols, no markings, nothing. Just darkness. The leader stepped forward. A scar crossed his face. Cold eyes studied Alara. Then he smiled. A cruel smile. We finally found her. Lyra moved in front of Alara. Protective. Determined. The leader laughed. Do you really think you can stop us? His warriors raised their weapons. Alara's pulse raced. They were trapped. Outnumbered. Alone. Then something unexpected happened. A howl echoed through the forest. Powerful. Ancient. Terrifying. Every warrior froze. The leader's smile vanished. A second howl followed. Closer. Much closer. The trees began shaking. Leaves rained from above. The attackers exchanged nervous looks. Then enormous wolves stepped from the darkness. Not ordinary wolves. Guardian wolves. The legendary beasts of the Old Moon Court. Creatures believed extinct for nearly 2 decades. 1, then 2, then 6, then dozens. Silver eyes glowed in the moonlight. The massive beasts surrounded Alara, not threatening her, protecting her. The forest became completely silent. Because everyone understood the same thing at once. The ancient guardians had returned, and they had chosen a side. Then the largest wolf stepped forward, lowered its head, and revealed something tied around its neck. A message. Written in Queen Selene's handwriting, addressed directly to Alara. Chapter 8. Alara stared at the message. Her hands trembled. The giant silver wolf remained perfectly still, waiting, almost patiently, as if it had carried this message for years, waiting for this exact moment. Waiting for her. The attackers did not move. Neither did Lyra. Nobody dared. The guardian wolves filled the forest. Their glowing silver eyes watched everything. Silent, ancient, deadly. The scar-faced leader slowly stepped backward. Fear had replaced confidence. Good. Alara was afraid too, but for the first time, she wasn't the most frightened person present. She approached the giant wolf carefully. The creature lowered its head even further, allowing her to take the message. The parchment felt old, very old, yet somehow untouched by time. A silver ribbon held it closed. The same crescent moon symbol appeared on the seal. Her mother's seal. Alara swallowed, then opened it. The handwriting was unmistakable. My daughter, if you are reading this, then the guardians have found you. That means the final protection has ended. And the truth can no longer remain hidden. Elara's heart pounded. The forest disappeared around her. Only the words mattered. Only her mother's voice. The letter continued. The kingdom believes the fire destroyed the moon court. That is a lie. The court survived. Hidden. Waiting. Protecting you. Because you were never the only child in danger. Elara froze. The vision. The second baby. The letter continued. The night you were born, another child was born beside you. A son. The heir of the northern kingdom. A child tied to your fate from the beginning. A child who would one day become king. Elara stopped breathing. No. No. She already knew. Before reaching the next line, some part of her already knew. His name is Rowan Ashbourne. The forest seemed to tilt. Lyra closed her eyes. The guardian wolves remained silent. Elara continued reading. You and Rowan were born beneath the same moon. An ancient prophecy connected your lives. Not through romance. Not through destiny as lovers. Through something far older. Through blood. Elara's vision blurred. Blood? The words became harder to read. You are not siblings. But your bloodlines were joined generations ago. The Luna Queens and Alpha Kings shared an ancient bond. Only together could they protect the kingdom. Only together could they awaken the heart of the moon. A relic hidden before your birth. A relic many would kill to possess. The blood hunters seek it. The shadow factions seek it. And now they know you live. Elara lowered the letter. The forest was completely silent. Everything made sense. And nothing made sense. The attacks. The blood hunters. The secrets. The years of hiding. All of it connected to something larger. Something ancient. Something still unfinished. Then she reached the final paragraph. And her heart nearly stopped. If Rowan has told you the truth, forgive him. If he has not, then he carries the same burden I asked him to carry. He was only a child, and children should never be forced to protect kingdoms. The letter ended there. No farewell. No final words. Just love hidden between every line. Elara lowered the parchment. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Not loud tears. Quiet ones. The painful kind. The kind that came too late. Then Lyra stepped closer. We need to move. Elara nodded slowly. But something felt wrong. Very wrong. The giant guardian wolf suddenly growled. Low. Dangerous. Every other wolf immediately tensed. The forest changed. The air itself felt heavier. Then Elara noticed it. A scent. Blood. Fresh blood. Far too much of it. Someone was approaching. Fast. Lyra drew her dagger again. The attackers backed away. Fear filled their faces. Then a figure stumbled from the darkness. A lone warrior, covered in blood, barely standing. He collapsed before reaching them. Elara rushed forward. The moment she saw his face, her stomach dropped. He was one of Rowan's royal guards. The man struggled to breathe. His armor was destroyed. His body shook. Please. Elara knelt beside him. What happened? The guard looked up. Terror filled his eyes. Not fear for himself, fear for someone else. My king. The words barely escaped. Elara's heart stopped. What about Rowan? The guard coughed blood, then whispered the sentence she had feared most. The poison reached his heart. The world went silent. No. The guard grabbed her wrist. Desperate. He's dying. Every sound disappeared. The wolves, the wind, the forest, everything. Only those words remained. He's dying. Lyra closed her eyes. The guardian wolves lowered their heads. Even they seemed to understand. Elara stood slowly, her hands clenched. The warmth inside her chest returned, stronger than ever before. Golden light flickered beneath her skin. The guards stared. So did everyone else. Because they all understood the same thing. Only one person could save Rowan now. Elara. The realization settled over the forest. Heavy. Unavoidable. Then the giant guardian wolf stepped forward. And bowed. Not to a queen. Not to a princess. To a leader. The other wolves followed. One by one. Dozens of ancient guardians lowered themselves before her. Acknowledging her. Accepting her. The moon court's true heir. Alara looked toward the distant mountains, toward the kingdom, toward the palace, toward Rowan. For years, he had protected her. Now it was her turn. She wiped away her tears and made her choice. I'm going back. Lyra stared at her. The enemy will be waiting. I know. The blood hunter will be waiting. I know. You could die. Alara's gaze hardened. So could he. Silence followed. Then a small smile appeared on Lyra's face. Proud, sad, certain. Your mother would have said the same thing. The giant guardian wolf lowered itself beside Alara, offering its back. An invitation, a promise, a path home. Alara climbed onto the wolf. The creature rose, towering above everyone. Golden light danced around her hands. The wolves howled together. The sound echoed across the mountains, across the kingdom, across the night itself, and far away, inside the royal palace, a dying Rowan Ashbourne opened his eyes. Because for the first time in 18 years, he felt her coming. Chapter 9. The palace was burning. Again. Not like the fire 18 years ago, but close enough. Smoke rose into the night sky. Broken walls littered the courtyards. Warriors fought across every level of the royal grounds. The kingdom was falling apart, and at the center of it all, Rowan was dying. Deep beneath the palace, hidden inside the oldest chamber of the kingdom, Rowan lay motionless on a stone platform. The poison had spread. Dark veins covered his chest. His breathing was shallow, weak, unsteady. The strongest alpha in the kingdom looked frighteningly human, fragile, mortal. Several healers surrounded him. None could help. They had tried everything. Nothing worked. Nora stood nearby. Tears filled her eyes. Kale leaned against a wall. Blood stained his clothes. His injuries were serious, yet he barely noticed them. His attention never left Rowan. Finally, one healer lowered his head. There is nothing more we can do. Silence followed. Heavy silence. The kind nobody wanted to hear. Kale looked away. Nora began crying softly. Then a howl echoed through the palace. Every person in the chamber froze. Another howl followed. Closer. Then, another. And another. Dozens of them. Kale slowly smiled. The first genuine smile anyone had seen from him. She's here. The giant guardian wolf crashed through the palace gates. Enemy warriors scattered instantly. Silver guardians flooded into the kingdom behind her. Ancient wolves, massive wolves. The forgotten protectors of the moon court. And leading them all, Alara. The frightened servant girl was gone. Not because she became someone else. Because she finally understood who she had always been. Golden light glowed beneath her skin. Her mother's necklace shone against her chest, and for the first time in her life, she stopped hiding. Enemy warriors rushed forward. The wolves met them head-on. Battle erupted. Chaos exploded across the courtyard. Yet Alara barely noticed. Her focus remained fixed on one thing. Rowan. Every second mattered. Every heartbeat mattered. Then a familiar roar shook the palace. The blood hunter landed in front of her. Stone cracked beneath its weight. Its glowing eyes burned brighter than ever. It looked angry, almost desperate. The creature blocked her path. No further. Its voice echoed across the courtyard. The guardian wolves growled. The blood hunter ignored them. Its gaze remained fixed on Alara. You must come with me. Alara stepped forward. No. The creature's eyes narrowed. You do not understand. Then explain. The blood hunter fell silent, almost hesitant. Then it said something nobody expected. I was created to protect the heart. Alara blinked. What? The creature's voice lowered. The heart of the moon. The ancient relic. The one mentioned in her mother's letter. The one everyone seemed willing to kill for. The blood hunter looked almost sad. I failed. Silence. I failed 18 years ago. A chill swept through the courtyard. The creature continued. The fire should never have happened. Alara stared. The blood hunter had been there? At the fire? The monster lowered its head. Many innocent people died. For the first time, Alara didn't see a monster. She saw something broken. Something burdened by guilt. Something trapped by duty. A strange realization settled inside her. The blood hunter wasn't hunting her because it hated her. It was hunting her because it believed it was protecting something. Then a new voice shattered the moment. How touching. Every person froze. The voice came from above, a balcony overlooking the courtyard. A man stepped forward. Tall, elegant, dangerous. Silver armor reflected the moonlight. His smile felt wrong. Cold. Empty. The blood hunter immediately turned. Fear flashed across its face. Fear. The monster was afraid. That alone told Alara everything. The stranger slowly applauded. After all these years, his gaze settled on Alara. The princess finally returns. Kale appeared beside her instantly. His expression darkened. Malric. The name echoed through the courtyard. The stranger smiled. Shadow Alpha. Rowan had once described dangerous men. Men who smiled while kingdoms burned. This man fit perfectly. Alara realized something. This was the true enemy. Not the blood hunter. Not the wolves. Not the attacks. Him. Malric spread his arms. The lies are finally over. Nobody spoke. The man laughed softly. Did they tell you who started the fire? Silence. His smile widened. No? Kale's jaw tightened. Stop. Oh, I think she deserves the truth. Ilara's pulse quickened. What truth? Malric looked directly at her, then delivered the sentence that changed everything. I killed your mother. The courtyard went silent. Completely silent. The words echoed inside Ilara's mind. Again. And again. And again. I killed your mother. A cold emptiness spread through her chest. Malric seemed pleased. As it turns out, queens burn quite easily. Kale moved first. Pure rage exploded from him. He charged. Malric never even flinched. A wave of dark energy erupted from the balcony. Kale was thrown backward. Crashing through stone, the entire courtyard gasped. Malric smiled. Still smiling. Always smiling. She refused to tell me where the heart was hidden. Ilara's hands shook. Golden light intensified around her. Malric noticed, and smiled wider. There it is. The courtyard darkened. Clouds swallowed the moon. The air felt heavy, dangerous, wrong. Then Malric looked directly at Alara and spoke the truth he had waited 18 years to reveal. The heart of the moon was never hidden in a place. Silence. It was hidden in a person. Alara stopped breathing. No. Malric pointed directly at her. You. The world froze. The heart. The relic. The mystery. The reason for everything. The reason her mother died. The reason Rowan protected her. The reason kingdoms burned. The reason monsters hunted her. It had never been an object. It had always been her. Malric's smile vanished. For the first time, genuine hunger appeared in his eyes. Terrifying hunger. Give me the heart. Golden light exploded around Alara. The ground shook. The palace trembled. And somewhere beneath the kingdom, something ancient awakened. Something that had been sleeping inside her all along. Chapter 10. Golden light erupted across the palace. The ground cracked. Stone walls trembled. The night sky glowed. Every warrior stopped fighting. Every wolf froze. Every eye turned toward Alara. The power pouring from her wasn't violent. It wasn't destructive. It felt alive. Warm. Ancient. Beautiful. And for the first time, Alara understood what the heart of the moon truly was. Not a weapon. Not a treasure. Not something meant to rule kingdoms. It was life. Pure life. The gift her mother died protecting. The gift others wanted to control. The gift hidden inside her since birth. Malric stared in awe. Then greed replaced wonder. He jumped from the balcony, landing in the courtyard. Finally, his voice trembled with excitement. After 18 years. Kale struggled to his feet. Don't. Malric ignored him. The blood hunter moved forward. Protective, blocking Alara. Malric laughed. You failed once. Dark energy exploded from his hands. The blood hunter roared. The force slammed into the creature. The monster crashed through 3 stone pillars. The entire palace shook. Yet even while injured, the blood hunter tried to stand again. Still protecting her. Still performing its duty. Alara suddenly understood. Everyone had sacrificed something. Rowan, Kale, Nora, the blood hunter. Her mother. All of them had carried pieces of the same burden, and she was tired of watching others suffer for her. The golden light intensified. Malric smiled. Yes. He stepped closer. Give me the heart. No. The answer surprised even Alara. Simple, calm, certain. Malric stopped smiling. You don't understand. I do. The golden energy swirled around her, gentle, radiant. You think power exists to control people. His eyes hardened. And you think it doesn't? No. She shook her head. It exists to protect them. For a moment, silence filled the courtyard. Then Malric laughed. Loudly, cruelly. A servant girl wants to lecture me? The words would have hurt once. Not anymore. Because she wasn't ashamed of who she had been. The servant girl had survived. The servant girl had shown kindness when nobody noticed. The servant girl had become strong. Alara smiled softly. And for the first time, she pitied him. Malric saw it. The pity, the disappointment, and rage exploded across his face. You are exactly like your mother. Dark energy surged around him. Violent, corrupt, terrifying. He charged. The courtyard erupted into chaos. Kale tried to intercept. Malric blasted him aside. Guardian wolves attacked. He threw them backward. Guards rushed forward. They fell. Nothing slowed him. Nothing stopped him. He reached Alara. His hands stretched toward her chest, toward the heart, toward the power. Then another figure stepped between them. A sword flashed. Steel met darkness. The impact echoed across the kingdom. Malric staggered backward. Shock crossed his face. Because only one person could still be standing. Only one. Rowan. The Alpha King stood before her, barely alive, covered in blood. The poison still darkened his veins. Yet somehow he remained standing. His broken sword trembled in his hand. But his eyes never left Malric. You're late. The weak joke escaped Alara before she could stop it. A faint smile appeared on Rowan's face. Sorry. Then he nearly collapsed. Alara caught him. Fear stabbed through her chest. The poison had spread further. Much further. Rowan's breathing was ragged, painful. His strength was fading. Fast. Malric laughed again. Perfect. He pointed toward Rowan. Watch him die. The words ignited something inside her. Not anger, not hatred, love. Not sudden love, not magical love. The kind built slowly, through years, through sacrifice, through protection, through trust, through understanding, the kind that arrives quietly and stays. Alara looked down at Rowan, the boy who carried her from a burning palace, the king who chose to be hated rather than risk her life, the man who protected her for 18 years. Even when she didn't know, even when she resented him, even when it broke his heart, tears filled her eyes. Rowan looked at her, softly, gently, almost sadly. Don't. His voice was weak. Don't waste the heart on me. The answer came instantly. I decide that. For the first time in years, Rowan laughed. A real laugh. Small, but real. Then his eyes closed. His body went limp. No. The word escaped her lips. No. The courtyard fell silent. Every heartbeat seemed to stop. Then Alara placed her hand over his heart and let go. Not of hope, of fear. The heart of the moon answered immediately. Golden light exploded across the kingdom. Brighter than sunlight, warmer than fire, gentler than rain. The energy flowed through Rowan, through the palace, through the wounded, through the dying, across every battlefield, across every village, across every broken life touched by the war. People gasped, wounds closed, poison vanished. Pain disappeared. The golden light healed everything it touched. Not because it was commanded, because that was its nature. Life helping life. When the light finally faded, silence remained. Beautiful silence. Elara opened her eyes. Rowan was staring at her, alive. The dark veins were gone. The poison had vanished. His heartbeat was strong, steady, real. Tears filled Nora's eyes. Kale laughed in disbelief. Even the blood hunter lowered its head, relieved. The nightmare was over. Almost. Because one person remained. Malric. The dark alpha stared at the scene, horrified. The heart had chosen healing, not domination, not destruction, healing. Everything he wanted. Everything he believed. Everything he sacrificed for. Gone. Because he never understood the heart at all. Malric took a step backward. Then another. Defeat settled across his face. Not because he lost a battle. Because he lost the truth. The blood hunter approached him. Slowly. Purposefully. Malric looked up. Fear finally appeared. The creature spoke quietly. The debt is paid. Then it carried him away. Into the darkness. Never to return. Months later, the kingdom felt different. Lighter. Peaceful. The moon court emerged from hiding. Old allies returned. Villages rebuilt. Families reunited. Hope returned. And for the first time in nearly 2 decades, people stopped living in fear. One evening, Elara stood on a balcony overlooking the restored gardens. The sunset painted the sky gold. Footsteps approached behind her. She smiled without turning. I knew it was you. Rowan stepped beside her. Healthy, strong, alive. Something she would never take for granted again. For a moment, neither spoke. The silence felt comfortable. Easy. Then Rowan cleared his throat. A rare sign of nervousness. Elara immediately noticed. And enjoyed it. A lot. What is it? He looked toward the gardens. Anywhere except at her. Which was unusual. Very unusual. Finally he spoke. I spent years protecting you. Yes. I spent years hiding things from you. Definitely. A wince crossed his face. She smiled. Then Rowan took a slow breath and looked directly at her. No walls. No distance. No secrets. Just honesty. I don't want any more lost years. Alara's heart fluttered. He stepped closer. Careful. Giving her every chance to walk away. She didn't. I love you. The words were simple. Quiet. Real. Exactly like him. No grand speech. No dramatic declaration. Just truth. At last. Tears filled her eyes. Happy tears. The best kind. Because she knew what those words had cost him. Years of restraint. Years of sacrifice. Years of silence. She reached for his hand. The same hand that once carried her from a burning palace. The same hand that never stopped protecting her. And finally, she answered. I love you too. The sunset glowed brighter. The gardens stretched endlessly below. The kingdom stood at peace. And for the first time since the fire, neither of them carried the burden alone. The servant girl nobody noticed. The king who hid his heart. The 2 children who survived the flames, at last found their way home. The end.